When you're writing a song, you will sometimes get into a flow. A few ideas about a groove, a hook, maybe some lyrics will come rushing out at you. Inevitably, that creative flow will stop. You might have been in the zone for a few minutes or a few hours, but hardly ever such a flow will result in a complete song, with intro, all the verses, chorus, and the hook all done. More often, you will have one or two of those elements done. You've made some real creative progress, and now it's time to step back and look at what you've got. The perspective you get from evaluating your writing will give you a sense of what still needs to be done. Some refining, tinkering, and maybe a more conscious decision based on everything you know to set a new goal for the rest of the song. Now, it's good to view the song in sections. For instance, when you've written something that sounds like a verse, as in the beginning of a story, or a good groove that could be the backup part of a verse, you can start directing your creative energy somewhere else. You can start asking yourself, does this verse feel complete? Do I need to shorten or lengthen the progression? You could maybe start humming an initial melody line to see what fits. Maybe you had some lyrics lying around, and are they suited for the song section you just wrote? Does the verse lead to a chorus, or do I want a pre-chorus? In a lot of ways, you'll be stepping back and diving in, getting out, evaluating and diving in again, lots of times throughout the course of writing a song. Some of the creative elements you'll come up with will be the gifts from heaven. You'll never know where they came from. Others are the result of hours worth of tinkering. Especially when you're in this tinkering zone, it's good to bring in the brain and consciously try to use some of the principles that we've discussed here. In the back of your mind, you can have principles like beware of the melodic contour. Chord notes are strong. Large intervallic leaps and anticipation will draw attention, and so on. The more you do this, the more it will become an unconscious part of your writing. You won't have to think about it and can trust your own feeling. Now, often lyric writing is done away from the guitar. You can record whatever you have, loop it, and see if something pops in your mind. Maybe you have a few lines lying around. Can you fit them into the verse? Make sure you write down or record the essential parts of your creative flow. Sometimes listening back to yourself playing, you'll hear a groove or chord progression you really dig. When you're thinking in sections, you can also start making conscious decisions about things like contrast, build-up of the song. Can I make an interesting bass line? Should I use a chord trick here? And you can start dealing with issues like, this part sounds boring. The hook feels contrived. The song goes on and on. My central statement in the chorus is a tongue twister. And in this phase, you might come to the conclusion that a certain brilliant idea that you came up with in one of your creative flows just doesn't work. Which makes you have to do what is the hardest part of songwriting. Kill your darlings. Throw out what doesn't work or doesn't fit, even if you think it's brilliant. Save your idea on a hard drive or a recording machine, write it down, whatever, but remove it from the song. Now, don't let this bog you down. It can be the beginning of another great composition. And as with all other forms of art, about 5% of composing songs is inspiration and creative flow. The other 95% is perspiration. And the most important tip I can give you is this. Writing songs is learned by writing songs. Well, I hope you enjoyed this course and that it helps you out to become an even better songwriter. See you in the charts.